Okay, good evening, Professor Yogendra and all of you who are participating in this evening's deliberations. It's a pleasure to introduce Professor Pal. He's a PhD from IIT Bombay and is presently a faculty member in educational technology at the NIIT University. He has 7 years of experience in industry, research, and academia. His teaching and research areas focus on the use of information and communications technology to impart education, especially to teach computer programming to non-English speaking students. He has in fact been producing videos to teach programming to Hindi speakers on his YouTube channel, Learn by Watch, since 2009. So it's a long period of time. Prior to joining NIIT University, Dr. Pal worked as a project research scientist in the Computer Science and Engineering Department at IIT Bombay, where he managed the front end of IIT Bombay's MOOC platform, IIT Bombay's X using Drupal. Previously, after completing his PhD in 2016, he launched a YouTube channel, ET Mantra, to provide training and support to teachers for developing educational content. He began his career as a project engineer in CDAC Mumbai after completing his master's degrees in CSE, that is Computer Science and Engineering, in 2009. He brings his varied experience of working in industry, research, and teaching, and along with his expertise in running his own content channels to the university as well as to us today. So it is a pleasure to welcome you and to have you speak with us. And thank you very much for making the time to deliberate on ICT in higher education. Thank you very much, Professor Pal.
Thank you very much, sir, for inviting me for this event. I just hope that whatever I say will be useful to most of the audience which is present here. So I don't know the format, but whenever you have a question, you can write it in the chat and I will try to answer it as soon as possible. So in this talk, the topic I'm going to cover is basically ICT for education. So in ICT, we have many tools available. Basically, if we say ICT, it's more of tool-centric. Obviously, pedagogy plays an important role when we teach, correct? So there are two different ways we can think about ICT. One is selecting multiple tools and then using them. And second way, restrict ourselves to a certain tools, but master in the pedagogy of that particular tool. So the ICT that most of us use, basically this is also an ICT we are using Zoom meetings. So Zoom is a software that allow you to take online sessions, correct? So that's a tool. This tool itself has many features. For example, rooms is available. Poll option is available. You can give feedback to the session simply by clicking on an icon which is available on Zoom itself. Note-taking app is available. Whiteboard is also available. So this tool itself has many things. So there are two ways to use this tool. One, as a general person, I simply just conduct a meeting. So just start, 2 people join, so many people join us, and we talk to each other the way we do usually when people are in front of us. Or we can think of utilizing these features, for example, rooms. So in our classrooms, what we do, many times we divide people into group of 2, group of 3, group of 5, and say, okay, you can now think about a project or discuss about certain problem, and then we will collaboratively talk about it. At that time, what happens in the classroom becomes noisy. To a person like me, the noise makes sense because it means students are engaging rather than the teacher. So it's kind of good for me. Many people do not like it. Here in Zoom, the rooms facility is available. What we can do? We can create multiple rooms. Students from a particular group can join their own room. So basically, within one meeting, multiple separate small meetings can take place. A student can discuss in their own room while they are not disturbing others in chats or via audio video calls. And then finally, they can come back to the main room. So this is one feature that's available in Zoom. So there are two approaches. we'd say, okay, there are many tools available in the market that can help us in conducting a video conference. But rather than jumping between tools to tools, what I will do, I will just select one that seems reasonably good, and I will master the features which can help me in improving my teaching. So there are two ways by which we can think of the tools. For this particular session, what I thought that there are many tools available that people do not know about. So when I talk to teachers, when I ask them what problem you are trying to solve, then they'd say that, see, I am not good at technology. I am still looking for this tool. I am looking for that tool. So what I thought, rather than talking about the pedagogical aspect of 4 or 5 tools, let's simply give you a bunch of tools which are kind of useful to every teacher in multiple aspects. So in this session, I am going to introduce you to multiple tools. I have selected a total 8 tools, 4 for one session, 4 for another session. So I will just talk about that. If you have particular tool in mind, particular question in mind, you can ask. I can assure that in terms of technology, I can talk about almost anything. I have explored many tools. So I will now start by sharing my screen. So there's one chat here. So yeah, understood, sir. But here I will not actually, because the approach that I am taking right now is introducing you to multiple tools, give you one example how one tool can be used so that you have a set of tools that you can explore. So that is why intentionally I am not demonstrating this particular feature. Otherwise, we will just talk about one tool. So a whole bunch of tools which are important for ICT, I am going to cover those. So I am Dr. Yogendra. As sir has already introduced me, I am working in the field of educational technology since 2009. I started my journey in educational technology by creating a YouTube channel in 2009. At that time, the notion of channel was not there. So I named that Learn by Watch. Okay, although the correct English is Learn by Watching, but I named it Learn by Watch. So I started teaching programming, computer programming to students who were facing difficulty in learning in English. So I started teaching programming in Hindi. And there, my journey to explore multiple tools for teaching started, because I was teaching online rather than offline. So whatever I am going to share is based on my experiences rather than I heard about a tool from somebody and then I just put that into my bucket. So the tools that I'm presenting, I use them almost every day for my teaching purpose. Okay. So the first tool that I believe everyone must know, and that tool is WordPress. Please raise your hand if you know about WordPress. If you ever heard about WordPress, just please let me know by raising the hand or any gesture you can take. Perfect. Thank you. So I can see 2 hands. Great. So WordPress is what? See, most of us wants to create our blog. We have heard about blog at least. And many people wants to create their own blogs. Some say, I want to create a website of this type. Some says, why can't I just simply create a social network of my own rather than asking a student to make a social network on Facebook or this kind of website where education is not the primary thing. And some says that I want to share my notes, but I also want to keep track of how many students have downloaded, who has downloaded. So there are many kind of website development requests that is required as a teacher. There are many tools which are available in the market. For example, Drupal is one of the well-known CMS, and it is highly used, very productive tool. But Drupal has many limitations when it comes to developing anything. So when I say anything, literally WordPress can help you there. Although one thing, WordPress is open source. Still, its license allow many people to charge for the services. And that is why almost everything is available for WordPress. You just type anything in chat. You say whether this type of website is possible to make with WordPress or not. And even though I have not yet seen your chats, I don't know what you're typing, still my answer is yes. The root can be complex, root can be difficult, root can require some amount of money, efforts, manpower, but with the WordPress, almost all kind of websites are possible. So some common examples I have written here. So blog. Yes, blog is possible. You can create a simple blog talking about one particular topic or one particular person with a calendar to complex blog where multiple people can share about their topics, about multiple things. And you can present that into calendar view, into a simple list view, into other kind of views. So WordPress is something that makes your blog process very easy. Blog facility is also available in Moodle. Blogs are also available in Drupal. Blogs are also available in any Wikimedia software. There are many wiki softwares available. But WordPress has a feature that makes it special because WordPress, 36% of websites which are there on internet are created with WordPress. I'm talking about public websites. Can you imagine the number? There are so many CMSs, there are so many frameworks available. Still, one single CMS, WordPress, is managing 36% of websites. That is the power. Because of these many people are working on it, the moment any technology launch, it's integrated with WordPress. You can name any software, for example, ChatGPT launched last year in October. Okay, within 30 days, within 15 days, I started seeing integration with a ChatGPT. That makes the job of a teacher easy. Simply writing blogs, checking grammar and many other things are possible within WordPress. No need to go outside of WordPress. H5P is a very good example of creating interactive exercises that is available in WordPress. So creating an LMS. LMS means Learning Management System. So you might have already heard about multiple LMSs, let's say OpenEDX, Moodle, Chameleon, ATutor. There are many. But WordPress also have many LMS solutions, not one, many LMS solutions that you can use easily to create your blog. It will convert your blog website to LMS website, and your blogs will have no impact, no negative impact. You want to create a membership website where you create multiple groups and only certain people can join that group and they can discuss about it. Yes, that is also possible with WordPress. You want to share your PDF files, your notes and other things, and you want that you can keep track of how many downloads has happened from which country, from which IP. Yes, that is also possible with WordPress. You want to think of any website? Yes, possible with WordPress. So when I say with WordPress, most of the people go to WordPress.com, and that is one habit that most of the teachers have to drop. .com is not only one TLD that you have to think of. Okay, so almost all open source software comes with a license that allow people to sell some services in exchange of money. That is why whenever there is such kind of open source technology, there is always a commercial association of that activity, that particular CMS or LMS or any software. So WordPress that I am talking about open source is available on WordPress.org, while its commercial version is available on WordPress.com. And that is true with almost all services. For example, h5p.org is for free things. h5p.com is for the commercial version for same software. So I have a question here. How secure a WordPress website is? What is the space size available with no charges? Okay. So any Okay. Now there are two answers to this. First of all, let's say how secure. It's as secure as you know about security. It's an open source software. That means security is not their concern. They are not charging you. It's your concern. You need to know how to put a website on a hosting platform. So most of the hosting providers provide you SSL certificate that is required for the basic security, which is sufficient. They also keep track of the malicious activities that can happen on a website. So most of the hosting provider manage the security on their own. You don't have to worry about it unless you are making something really big. If you are concerned, there are services, there are plugins, free plugins like WordFence available on WordPress that makes a website absolutely secure. So yes, it is comparatively secure. If we compare it with Drupal, Moodle, WordPress is comparatively secure because the plugins are readily available. What is the space size available with no charges? Perfect. Now, because WordPress is saying that you can get the software for free. In order to get a website, you need a hosting service and a domain. That is always chargeable. Domain name and hosting will cost you something around 2,000 to 3,000 rupees, 2,000 to 6,000 rupees, depend on the service provider you are opting for. If you go to WordPress.com, because that's a commercial activity, they offer some free services. You can compare their free and paid plans. As a teacher, if you want to grow in coming years, I highly recommend you to spend some time in hosting and domain. If you want to invest very small amount, then what you do, go to practiceaccount.in and you opt for a practice account, which is very, very cheap. Okay. So there you can get WordPress or you can ask for any plugin or theme to be installed and then you can explore. So I hope I answered this question. If you have any other question, please write in the chat. Perfect. So now I would like to show you the website also, WordPress website. How does it look? So this is WordPress.org website. And at this time, I am going to demonstrate one software that I like and I recommend to all teachers who take live sessions. The problem is that whenever we take live sessions and we are teaching about a particular website or a software, the text written on is comparatively small and it is very difficult to read, isn't it? Is it true in this case also? I am trying to show you one website. So please tell me if this website is visible to you or not.
It's visible actually.
Perfect, sir. Thank you. So right now you can see that the text which is written here is very small. And this is one very common problem I have seen with many teachers. They keep talking about their content while the content is not visible to the audience properly. So what you do, so what I'm going to do, I'm simply going to zoom it. So I will just press one key from my keyboard and I will zoom it. So I have zoomed it and you can now see the text is properly visible. Is it visible? Do you like this feature? If you like this feature, can you please just raise your hand? So this is the website I'm talking about, WordPress.org. Okay. Go there, not on WordPress.com. That's going to be a big mistake if you go there. Okay. Because then you will restrict to certain feature. WordPress is very powerful. Thank you, sir. So WordPress.org, you have to go to this website. From here, you can download, get WordPress, then you need a hosting service, or you can simply install localhost and install it. So if you search on YouTube, you will get many WordPress installation tutorials. Even on ET Mantra, it's available. On my other channel, Learn by Watch, also it is available. So you can just learn it and you can explore it. If you don't want to go into that problem, like I don't know about hosting service, go to practiceaccount.in and just by investing 100 rupees, you are ready to start. Okay. So that is about WordPress.org. So let's now talk about the tool that I'm using in order to zoom it. First of all, what I did, I zoomed it. And then I scribble on it. Correct? I can talk about anything here. Like if I let's say click here, then I can just freeze the screen and I can scribble on it, which is very, very useful feature, especially when you are teaching softwares. So for that, I am using a software that is known as Zoom It, Zoomit. Zoom It software. This is the software I am talking about. What does it do? It zoom the screen, annotate the screen, and it is also a recording tool, although I don't use it for the recording purpose. So when you launch Zoom It, after installing, when you launch Zoom It, it looks like, I will just open its screen and then I'll show that to you. So it looks like this. I hope it is visible. From here, what you can do in this screen, you can zoom toggle. So Control 1 is the default key. You can also set what's the size you want, like 2 times want to increase the magnification, or 3 times or 4 times. Then you can do the live zoom with the help of Control 4. You can draw with Control 2. There are typing tools also available. So this is what you can use. I usually do what? Zoom and draw. That's so with the help of Control 1, I can zoom, and then with the help of mouse click, I can draw. That is what most of the teachers must use. Perfect. Let's now continue with my presentation. So I hope WordPress thing and Zoom It is clear. Let's now talk about another very good CMS, which is known as Drupal. So Drupal is very secure CMS. It is known for security. That is why most of the time it's used in government websites. Like IIT Bombay X, its front end is developed in Drupal. NVLI website is developed in Drupal. Our culture website, Indian cultural website, is developed in Drupal. There are many websites which are developed in Drupal. Most of the defense websites are developed in Drupal. Why? 2 reasons. First of all, Drupal's license don't allow people to charge for support and services, while WordPress's license allow. That is why many people are behind WordPress, because they can charge for the services. Drupal, you cannot. Its license is strictly prohibited someone. If you have written any piece of code for Drupal, you cannot charge for it. You have to provide it to the community for free. So that is one reason. Second reason is Drupal is complex. Like in WordPress, it's very easy. You simply install it. It simply says you can write your blog. You write your blog and done. It's that simple. Means in order to start with WordPress, you just need 10 to 15 minutes. And if somebody else install it for you, you just need 2 minutes to start with that. In Drupal, that's not the case. In order to work on Drupal, you need to know some of the fundamentals of software engineering. You don't have to code, first of all. Still, you need to know what is entity, what is relationship, what is class, what is object, how MySQL queries fire and all. Although for any of these things, you don't have to learn program. Still, Drupal's interface asks you to first create an entity. This is a computer science language I am talking, because that is how Drupal behaves. You have to create entity, then only you can create its objects. Finally, you have to create relationships. With the help of one simple Drupal module, which is known as views, you have to create SQL queries. So that is why, because it's complex, that's why most of the people relate to the WordPress. Only for complex websites, only for websites that require more and more security, people go for Drupal. Many solutions like e-commerce, membership, blog are not readily available in Drupal. Can be created, but it takes time. In order to create a simple service in Drupal, you need 5 to 6 hours. In order to create a complex service, medium level complex service, you need 5 to 7 days. In order to create really complex website in Drupal, you may need 6 to 7 months. Depends on how many entities are involved, what are the things involved. So that is why it's difficult. So why I'm talking about it? I'm talking about it because if you have a specific idea that you believe cannot be addressed with the help of WordPress, you are working on a pedagogy that's not readily available. That is why its solution is not readily available for any CMS. Then Drupal is the way to go. In Drupal, you can actually think from a computer science perspective. You can design your own relationship and all, and finally you can deploy the solution. I have developed solutions with Drupal for many companies, including IIT Madras. They had a requirement where they wanted teacher to generate questions for particular NPTEL videos. So at that time, I created a website and they named it Spokathan. That was up for 3 to 6 months after the questions were generated. The website was removed after the data was downloaded. So these are the things that you must know. Okay. Now let's talk about absolutely simple service that do not require any kind of payment on your side. And you can start very quickly, although there are many limitations. First of all, you cannot create any kind of website with the help of Google Sites. Google Sites allow you to create pages with Google services. For example, you just want to create a website where you want to embed few YouTube videos. You want to embed your presentations that you have created using Google Slides. You have created some document in Google Doc and you want to embed those. For any Google related service that you use and you want to embed them in a public web page, Google Sites is the way to go. So let me now, and very good thing about Google Sites that the way you share your document, for example, in Google Doc, you created one document and you want 5-6 people to collaborate in. So you shared with everybody and everybody can collaborate. In real time, the changes are visible to you. The same thing happens with Google Site. You can create Google Site, share Google Site with anyone. Whatever change they make, if you make them public, they are available to everyone. So collaboration is possible in Google Sites even on single page level. No other CMS or LMS allow you to collaborate on same page. You can collaborate that one person is creating one page, another one is creating another page, but Google Site is the only one where you can collaborate on the same page because it depends completely on Google services. So I would like to show you both websites. So for Drupal, you have to go to this website, drupal.org. Again, as I told you, you have to leave the habit of always searching for .com. So drupal.org. Then for Google Sites, which is available to you right now also, if you go to sites.google.com, this page will open if you are already logged in with the help of Google account. This page will open. And it's that easy that you have to simply click on this plus icon to create a website, or you can click on template gallery and select any one of this template which is available. There are many templates available like work template, a small business template, education template. Many templates are available. So for example, you want to create a website for your club, you select this template. So you can just click on it and then it will create one website for you immediately. You have to just change the text, make it public, and it's available to everybody. So Google Site is a collection of web pages, and you can create web pages simply by going to this page tab. Like here, because we have selected a template, 3 pages are already available. You can add one more by simply saying this new page. That's all. Just click on this and you have to name. So I am saying contact and done. See, it's available now. So this thing that you are seeing right now here, the page, they are available in the same order here on the main website's menu. What you can do, you can just bring it down like this. Sorry, yeah. Perfect, like this. So you see, now they are in the same order. If you want to change the content of contact, then just click on the contact. The contact is available. In all pages, you can see header, which is this part. Then there is footer, which is this part. And then the content part, which is blank because we didn't write anything in contact page. We just created it. In order to add content, you just need to go to Insert tab. And there's a whole bunch of things available. Text box, image, embed, drive, content block, and many other things. There is a long list. You see, there is a long list. Whatever you want to create, you can create. So let's say if you want to create a text box, just click on it. It will be made available here. Then you can give it a heading. and you can select whether you are creating the title or heading or subheading, whatever you want to say, like this. Then you click on any of this thing, for example, this, and this is nothing but a paragraph. So I will just make it a paragraph like this. And then you want to add an image, just click on this and upload an image from your PC, or you can select from your drive as well. So I've just uploaded one image, it's uploading. Okay. So, yeah. So it's unable, it's saying that unable to create because some of the images are very big. But what I can do, I can always select from the drive, existing images from my Google Drive. So let's say I'm selecting this, then it will be then made available in your web page. You can resize it like this. You can change your font as well. For example, I am increasing the size, selecting a different font available like this. You can make some bold. It is a simple tool. This way you can create your complete web page, and that is how the home page is created. This is how the event page is created. See, and once you are satisfied with all the pages that you have created with the other things, then you simply click on publish and then give it a web address. So in order to create a web address, what you have to say, this is by default available. This will be the website address, sites.google.com/view. After that, you have to think of a web address, and that should not be taken by somebody else. So usually what I take, I just say that this is a demo and this is delete. So that I remember that on my Google sites, I don't have many things that's not useful. So this you can take. So once you publish, I'm not publishing it right now because then otherwise it's kind of wasting one resource. So you can do it after selecting a correct name. For example, if I say Yogi, obviously it's not available. It must have been taken by somebody else. You see? So once you have a correct name and you click on publish, with this URL, it can be viewed by anybody. So that is how you can create your Google sites, and it's easily available. No need to pay for anything. No need to worry about security and other things. But yes, it's limited in terms of functionality. So there is one question by Gurudutt sir. Do they work for Linux OS too? So I believe you are asking for Zoom it. No, Zoom it does not work on Linux. Zoom is only available for Windows. Let's now talk about another tool. Just trying to open my slide. Yeah. Slack. Slack is what? A collaboration tool with multiple channels. See, till now I was talking about the website tools, which make your presence online. If you buy a domain name, then a branded presence, I'll say, because it will be available on your name. Let's now talk about other things that can increase your productivity, that can help you in collaborating with your student. So one, which is very good, very professional, is known as Slack. Slack is a collaboration tool and it has multiple channels. So I'll first show you the website of Slack, then I'll move on. So this is Slack. You must know that Slack is being used by almost all development companies. Whoever, any company who think about increasing productivity within organization, they start with Slack. And not only start, they have to start with Slack for two reasons. Slack is completely free unless you are really big. And second, it has integration with almost all applications. You just name an application and Slack is available with that. Okay. So what does it allow? It allows you to do all these things. It has channels. What is a channel? So let us say in your class, so you are taking multiple subjects. let's now compare WhatsApp with Slack. So in WhatsApp, if you want to manage your class, what you do, you create one group. In one group, you add people. Then for one class, then for the second subject, you add another set of people and you create multiple groups. Now, you are kind of in a space where your family members are there, obviously not within groups, outside that group, but still in the same interface. Your family related notification, your office related notifications, other activity related notification, plus your class related, all are at the same place. So they are going up, down, here, there, and you don't know where to focus, where to go. Channels are focused things. So you go to Slack and it takes you to home page where all the channels are listed. You go to one channel. So rather than creating one group for everything, within a group you are creating a channel. And for each class you are creating channels. So channel 1, channel 2. So all the things that is available within one classroom is channels, like your one group, second group, third group, fourth group, like this. So it's very focused, very professional. Then it connects with many things, means I'll talk about it. Then messaging, you can chat, you can share files, you can do audio video calls, you can do polling, you can do much more by connecting with many services. It has a workflow builder. Obviously, it takes some time to learn about workflow builder, but workflow can be set there. For example, you want whenever a student says that, sir, please add this person into the contact, it automatically added. That you can set. So this is how you can automate things. Search. So a lot of search happen within 6 months, 7 months. You can search all through that. You don't have to wait for the message. There is no lag, and there are many other things that are not available in other media platform. They are available here. File sharing is also allowed. That's usually not allowed in other platforms. So what I suggest, if you are really concerned about creating a vibrant community that has a focused task to do, or you want to have a focus, then go with Slack. Don't go to Telegram, don't go to WhatsApp, don't go to some other channel that has many distractions. This is absolutely professional, and that is why it is being used by almost all organizations. When you use it within your classroom, other students, the students who are then going for the job, they find the same software is being used in the organization. So it's kind of a very handy for them to migrate from education to company. So whenever you have question, please write here. I'm looking at chat as well. Okay. Now let's talk about the another software. That is Notion. Notion is kind of one answer to many problems. I discovered Notion. Discovered means when I started using Notion last year. Before that, I was jumping between application to application for my normal task. Like, for example, where do I create a to-do list? So I can use Microsoft To Do. I can use Todoist. I can use Google's note-taking application that also have check boxes, many things. Then I was looking for how I can provide my to-do to my student. For example, in day 1, I am teaching some 4 or 5 topics to my student, and I usually take practical sessions. So I want to ask the student that, okay, for example, for this, I say explore WordPress. Then I also say install WordPress. Then I say explore Slack. Then I say create a community of Slack. So that is what I am teaching a student practically, and that's what I am writing in one to-do list. After my class, what I want, that to-do list that I have created and I checked because I did all the work within classroom. I want to share that to-do list with all the 60, 70 people who are in my classroom, and they can then take all of this while they are revising or while they are working. So creating multiple to-do lists from one set of to-do list is not possible in any other software. You just tell me in which software it is available. That is available only in Notion. You can have a database within Notion, which is a wonderful thing. You can have note taking in Notion. You can have Kanban boards, which are very important when you are managing projects. So it can be used for multiple things. Let's now look at Kanban, but before there are some other things. I have used Slack for discussions. What are the other uses of it? So usually, sir, it's for discussion purpose. Okay, but it's distraction free. That is the important thing for Slack. Let's now see the, yes, sir.
Sir, one more question, sir. Sir, I am using Google Classroom for managing various classes. But now, okay, this is the first time I am hearing about Slack, and it is quite interesting. So you are saying that instead of Google Classroom, I can start with Slack.
No. So
Oh,
Google Classroom is a LMS. Slack is a simple collaboration tool where you can talk about topics. So obviously, I believe in your Google Classroom, you have created classes, you have limitations, you are giving assignment where collaboratively students can solve it.
correct, correct.
Slack is a discussion tool. So for example, you have given an assignment in your Google Classroom and multiple students can work on one assignment. For the same thing, a student can converse on Slack. Rather than sending each other a collaborative individual messages, you can or they can create their own channel within Slack where they are talking about this assignment and finally doing it.
Oh.
One
So
very
that Slack was quite means understandable, but the notion of this notion is a bit confusing. I was not getting it correctly. I hope.
No, no, I'll show you. I'll show you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
This
Thank
is
you.
one application that I want to demonstrate because this is wonderful application. The moment you add Notion to your tools bucket, you become productive. Okay, it's that useful, and Notion is free. So anything that I am talking about here is free. Okay, let's now open the website for Notion. So this is Notion. This is my web page on Notion, and I can share it with anybody, including you. It's actually published on public, and people can go to the website using this link. The only demerit Notion has, it doesn't allow you to have your own domain name, but that's okay. Not required unless I want to make things public. So even here you can see my public things, like this is my time management Notion, what should I say, page. So in Notion you can have many things. So there is one page. So if I go to this time management thing, what you can see that my tasks are here, like in week, what I do on Monday, what I do on Tuesday, what I do on Wednesday. And there is a to-do, the complete to-do list that I keep adding every day. For example, I had to create this slide, correct? And I had to send my bio to sir for this talk. So I just wrote it down the moment sir emailed me the send bio to whom. Then I said it is for office purpose. This is done or not done. This is for whom, whether I'm going to do it or somebody else is going to do it. So it is like self, and not self means you just tag it with anything. And what's the important thing? So you can see some work I have to do, some work are delegated. So there are many things that I have done. This is related to family, something related to office, something is related to my YouTube channel, and things are there, correct? So what I can do, I can check which are yet to be done. So things which are not yet started. See, they are here. And they are here on the basis of priority. So I now know what I have to do next. This is what I have to do immediately. This is 0 priority. Then 1, then something. So 1, perfect, but it is possible that I have given it to somebody else. So what I say, okay, the tag, which is only for me. So I get this. So I have to now do this thing. So it's kind of very easy. See, surprisingly, it's very, and the moment I have to think about some work, what I do, I just write it here. That's all. Just write. I'll show you one more very good use of it. So for example, I'm just doing it rough here. Okay, let's say take gifts for Diwali. This is what I have to do. So I am writing it here. Okay. Then what's the priority of it? obviously Diwali is coming in 2 days, so this is kind of first priority. So it has now moved up. See, then it's for whom? It's obviously for my family. Correct. Then comes as whether I am going to delegate it or I am the one who will take it. So I say, okay, self. Perfect. Then this is how I have added, but there is more to it. This much you can do even in Excel, in Google, spreadsheet, and anything. What you cannot do in other software, you can do here. Like, it is possible that this is not sufficient in order to complete this work. Maybe I further need a list, whom to give, whose house to visit, and something like that. Okay. So I can immediately create a separate page for it, but just by clicking on open. Done. It's created with all the information. And now here I will start writing another to-do list. And I will now write about, let's say, Vivans, I have to make gift for this person. Then I have to take gift for some other person. And here I am creating this. So this hierarchy, the nested thing are not possible. Similarly, sometimes when you are delegating, especially, you may want to give some instructions as well, which are usually not possible in other things, like tabular view is not available. So what I'll say, okay, so I just want to see the delegated works which are still at the to-do level, and maybe I have to give some things. So for example, here you can see this page shows that more instructions are given here. This is simply a entry, that's all. There are no pages. Perfect. So let's go to this. What I have written all these comments for the person whom I have delegated this work. Plus, this is also shared with somebody. See, I am this, but this particular page is shared by somebody else who has to do this work. So rather than sharing my whole database, which should be known to me only, rather than sharing it, what I am doing, I am just sharing one thing with the person who has to complete the work. So I can keep most of my work to me, private, only the one that I am delegating and only to whom I am delegating, rather than to everybody it goes. And it can go to multiple people also. Means if you want to share one particular thing to multiple people, yes, you can do that as well. So that is how this is wonderful. Not only that, let us say here, okay, here, if I don't know whether I have dates or not, if I have dates also, I have to check whether I have put the dates also or not. Yeah, the created at least is there. Okay, fine. The created will also work. So what I can do with the same data, I can create a different view. And I can say, okay, sorry, not this one. Delete. What I can do, okay, here I cannot do because there are different things. And I also don't want to disturb this particular view. Maybe source layout here it is available. So I can change it to calendar. Now you can see it's visible on what day I created a task and I assigned to somebody else. So like this. So rather than saying delegated task, I can say self as well. I can say even everyone like this. So each date I can see what task I have created and whether it's delegated or just for me. So this much of flexibility only Notion can provide. And the tick mark, the to-do list that I was talking about, this is the to-do list. So I took a session on tutor elements. So on that day itself, I did all these things. For example, access practice account, log into practice account, create a page, do this. I did, and then I write it here. I didn't write it in advance. And after the class, what I did, I simply say share. And then I say publish. And finally, I copied this web link and I distributed this web link to everybody. Now, everybody who received this link, what they can do, they can simply click on duplicate. They can click on duplicate. They cannot edit my page. They cannot uncheck anything from my page. They cannot make any change. So they can simply duplicate. And that is how this to-do list is available in their Notion. And then if they are serious students, sincere students, they can do it one by one and keep checking it. And that's what most of the people did. The moment I started doing it, you won't believe, most of my students were really happy because they knew exactly what was done in classroom and what they have to do when they are doing the revision. Usually this to-do list is helpful only when you are teaching practical things rather than theory. So please add Notion. There is many things like Kanban is also available. So Kanban example was in the time management itself. For example, this is card layout, this is list view, but I can change this view to Kanban board. Layout is board. Okay, I cannot change this one, this particular one, but I can change many other views. So Kanban, if you do not know, means I'm going to talk about Kanban. Kanban is the next thing. The Kanban itself is available here. You don't have to leave Notion. So Notion is kind of a production house. If you really want to improve your productivity, if you want to manage everything, family, work, business, this, that, whatever you have in mind, Notion is the only answer. Nowadays, anybody asks me what's the productivity tool that you suggest, I said Notion. There is no other answer to that. Okay. And it's not about that I'm biased. No, I have explored a variety of tools and still exploring. It's every day, this is my habit. Every day I explore many softwares and I work on it. And then only still I am saying Notion is the answer to almost all productivity work and most of the work that you have to do in general classroom for general teaching as well. Okay. So the question by Tamal sir is there any software tool or app for digital diary? Yes, there is one tool for digital diary and that is known as OneNote. OneNote is really good, but Notion also can be used. I'll talk about OneNote, don't worry. So now let's talk about other tools. And that is Kanban application, Trello. The application name is Trello. What is Kanban? First, we have to understand it. So Kanban is basically it's a Japanese bird. It is Japanese technique to improve productivity of a team, not for individual, although it can be used for individual as well. So what is Trello? So in Trello, the particular board is usually divided into 3 columns. The one is the list of tasks that needs to do, then is in progress, and one is done. That is how the Kanban boards are set up. It's a really good practice. So the software that I really like for Kanban, although nowadays Notion is answer to my everything, and I create Kanbans here. It's very easy to create. Okay. Like for example, maybe in To-Do it is already available. So yeah, it's available here. So if I go to board, see, this is available. So what are the to-dos? Not started, what are in progress, and what are done. Okay, this is Diwali week. That is why I'm not saying anything in progress. Otherwise, many people would have working on few items which I have delegated. Correct? Let's now talk about the tool that I wrote on the slide, that is Trello. Trello is nothing but a Kanban board. It is dedicated to Kanban board only. There is no other option. Okay. So it's to do, doing, and done. So for any task that you create here, by default, it's in to do. You can create multiple color of the same task. You can assign that task to somebody else. You can give it a name. You can attach file to that task. People can comment on that task. So basically, this particular application Trello allow you to create tasks, but not only that, but on that specific task, it allows collaboration, it allows file sharing, it allows discussion, it allows resource sharing, it allows many other things also. So that your task is not stuck. So you given a task, but let us some student commented, sir, I am facing this issue while doing this task. They write the thing. So you are answering it here, not on WhatsApp, not on Slack, not anywhere else. Within that context, you are answering. And whatever activity you do is always there. So anytime you can visit the same card, you can see what happened, what discussion happened for this particular task activity with your students. And then this whole bunch of comments that you have made, contextualized comment that you have made, will help you in writing your research paper. Because then you don't have to go to WhatsApp, check which chat was for which task, which chat was for which group, which chat was for which team. No, it's here written there. And the same thing that you can do with Trello, the same thing can be done with the help of Notion as well. There is no difference, correct? So I believe you will start using these productivity tools, because the way technology means right now what is happening, I still meet people who are still thinking about teaching a class of a student where 20, 30, 60, 120, maximum 220 teachers are sitting, 220 students are sitting. While even this Madan Mohan Malviya program is talking about teaching 10,000 teachers, correct? And we all know teaching happens only when the learner starts thinking, learner starts collaborating to things. The act of learner takes them to learning rather than the act of a teacher, correct? So using all these tools, Trello, Slack, Notion, gives you a power to teach 25,000 teachers, 10,000 students. You can teach n number of students, correct? So if you don't use these tools, it looks like that, why should I use these tools if I'm teaching in a classroom? You are right. But why keep your teaching limited to a set of people? Increase your reach. And these tools then start making sense, not for a small number of people. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor Yogendra, for this very enlightening and very useful talk covering a very wide spectrum. And thank you very much from all of us.